what are some of the Amazon failures? I mean, what are the big bombs that they've done? Because if you look at like a company like Apple, they've thrown a bunch of stuff up against a wall, and some of it just failed miserably.
Free Talk Live.
And it's
now, who's behind the billboard? I don't know if you mentioned that earlier.
I did. Let me get the organization's name again. It is Job Creators Network. And this billboard will be up all week. Well, excuse me, it'll be up until next Wednesday. So not this Wednesday, but
I wonder
next
what that
Wednesday.
costs. I wonder what it costs to have a billboard for a week in Times Square.
A lot?
Yeah, I bet it does.
I would assume that's got to be some pretty expensive stuff. And they show a picture of it here in the story, and it's not small. It shows, you can see some other, like the sign for Ripley's Believe It or Not is behind it. And it looks like it's something like twice as large as that. So,
I wonder if there are small billboards you can even get on Times Square. I mean, I imagine the real estate there is fairly big for everybody.
I would imagine. And she's been very critical of Amazon going to New York, and for New York offering Amazon $2.5 billion to move there in tax credits and things like that. The argument one would make is, well, they're coming there and they're creating 25,000-ish new jobs. That number, sometimes it's way off. You know, sometimes they talk about the 25,000 new jobs, and it turns out that's only during the construction phase. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it drops down to 32. But in this case, it seemed to be pretty clear. I mean, Amazon is certainly a growing company, and they're not going anywhere soon, and they're going to need, as they continue to expand, they've got 25 years? I'm trying to think of how long we've been dealing with Amazon.
Yeah, it seems like at least 20. Late 90s, maybe to mid-90s.
Mid-90s, I think. They were one of the very, very first online stores back when they sold books.
Well, you know, you have to wonder, you know, when it comes to big corporations, they all have a certain top-out size, right? There's only so large, it seems like, that they can get before they become particularly susceptible to competition. Or they just, you know, become so inefficient because of their size.
Right.
So is Amazon nearing that point? Are they not even halfway there yet? Like, how much bigger can they get? We know they just acquired Whole Foods a couple of years ago.
Right. They bought Nest, which was another big deal.
No, I think Google bought that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of Blink.
Yes, Blink.
That's what Amazon bought.
Right.
Which is kind of like another competitor to that. You know, obviously, they're humongous as far as internet delivery is concerned. So, I mean, they're all over the place there with warehouses in a bunch of different countries. I mean, obviously, they can expand that division. They're huge online with their file sharing services and their not file sharing, but also their hosting. Amazon hosting the government. There's a whole article at The Intercept recently about how Jeff Bezos is all upset about somebody sharing a picture of his junk on the internet, but yet he's investing in all this privacy invading technology, and he hosts the CIA and he hosts the Department of Homeland Security and all 17 agencies or whatever on Amazon Cloud Services or EC2 or whatever it's called.
Sure.
So I mean they are pretty darn big, and now they're also getting into that. There's that experimental store that they have that they're now expanding into a few different markets, apparently, where you can go in, you show your Amazon app on your phone to get in. There's like a turnstile or something, and it blocks you to get in until you show that you're an Amazon customer already. Then you can go in, pick up stuff, put it in a basket or put it in your pockets or whatever, and walk out.
Right. Very cool. All done with RFID.
Right.
And yeah, it's super cool. Amazon's got a couple other things.
Well, there's talk about those going to like thousands of stores.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's another potential area of expansion, is even more real life shopping.
Regarding their cloud services and their online computing, when Amazon first showed a profit, I can't remember, it was 2015, 2016, somewhere in there, they had one blip where Amazon showed a profit, but that was all in growth in the EC2 platform and their cloud computing. So they were an early pioneer there. The big news in the last few days has been Rivian, which is another electric vehicle company that is, a lot of people are saying could really displace Tesla completely.
Really?
And Jeff Bezos.
Have you looked into this Rivian group, or are you just kind of aware that they exist?
I'm aware that they exist, but I'm seeing tons and tons of headlines, and they're going after the pickup and the SUV sort of thing. They're
because that's been exempted from the whole hybrid world, hasn't it? For the most part, like pickups and such. I mean, they exist, but
they do. But again, how practical can they be? Yeah. And Rivian is kind of taking a completely different look at it. What is interesting about it is Jeff Bezos sitting back with his big fat. They have a war chest that I think they said was. It can't be $250 billion. It may be $250 billion.
Who does? Amazon?
Amazon in cash, ready to invest.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a huge amount, and they're looking at Rivian as a potential next play for Amazon. So that could be huge. So I think they've got a lot of room to grow and a lot of things they can do.
What are some of the Amazon failures? Of course, they also had the home thing. What's it? Alexa? They've got that. That's huge. Those things are popping up everywhere. The little speakers, the smart speakers. Those are huge. So they're getting their actual hardware devices inside people's homes. What are some of the Amazon failures? I mean, what are the big bombs that they've done? Because if you look at like a company like Apple, they've thrown a bunch of stuff up against a wall, and some of it just failed miserably. I mean, a lot of people probably forget the failures, but they're there. I coming to mind just there was the Apple Newton, which was like a real early. You're laughing.
I am.
Right?
That thing was an embarrassment.
It failed miserably.
Right. You had Microsoft Zune. That was another one. That was going to be the iPod killer.
And I can think of Google failures, Google programs that have been shut down. Of course, they're shutting down Google Plus as we speak.
Yeah.
Which, major failure. They tried to compete with Facebook. So, I don't know, right off the bat, I can't think of what has Amazon really botched up. They must have done it. It's just, I wasn't aware of it.
I'll throw you a few.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, there was something called the Fire Phone.
Okay.
So the Kindle Fire, they were going to put this all in a phone-size package and do it that way.
All right.
You can't find those for sale anymore. They did another one called Destinations. That one, and I'm going off a list here from thestreet.com. Destinations was sort of going to be a travel website.
Okay. So that one didn't go anywhere, huh?
That failed.
Gotcha.
Poorly. They wanted to do a local deal sort of thing like Living Social or Groupon.
Okay.
That one was called, let's see, Amazon Local. That one never panned out.
Didn't get off the ground.
Yeah, but they've had their share.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Well, it's
they
not
were all
like
so minor. I didn't even hear of them.
Right, but I had heard of some of those, and it just means that they're not afraid to invest.
Yeah.
And another thing is people are all busting on because Amazon. The other big Amazon story this week was they paid no federal income tax.
The customers pay all the taxes.
Right, but on their corporate profits, they didn't pay any income tax.
Sweet.
We'll talk about that when we get back. It's an interesting story, and I can pull that one up, too.
All right.
We're going to get back, and we're going to talk about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her humongous billboard in Times Square. And what are we going to do about that? Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live. Listen live 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern or grab the podcast. It's all at freetalklive.com.